Okay. Are we starting?
That photo should be the thumbnail.
No.
Yes, we're starting.
So
We're
live?
We're live.
Okay. How's it going, guys? Thanks for joining us. This is the Endurant AI Podcast, the podcast to go to for your small business. Our goal here is to present research on AI and how it can help your small business thrive and help you streamline different operations. My name is Tyler.
I'm Brendan.
And that's about it. So we'll go and hop into it here. Today, we have a tiered list is what we're going to be doing. And so we'll be going through all these different AI tools and basically helping you understand as a business owner, as a person, what's worth spending your time with and what's not.
Yep.
Right?
It'll be fun.
Okay, we got a whole list here. Which one you want to start with? I guess we're going to dive right in.
Yeah, we're diving right in.
Let's do it.
All right, let's start with the top and make our way down.
Make our way down. Okay, you want to start with Claude?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, Claude. I had some stuff. Well, okay, let's do this. Should we break it down into, should we do like all the LLMs?
Yeah.
And then do the other ones? Okay, so we got Cloud, Perplexity,
Gemini,
ChatGPT.
and Quillbot?
Quillbot? No.
It's kind of its own
thing,
Yeah.
right? I think, and that should be it.
Mhm.
So these are LLMs, large language models, right? So ChatGPT, and the other ones like it, right?
Mm-hmm. You can
So
almost call them clones.
You can almost call them clones, right? ChatGPT is like the original, right? There were some things that when we were that stood out when we were testing these. I know for me, Perplexity.
Mm-hmm.
Well, which one do you want to do first?
Well, we could talk about all of them at once. Really.
Okay. Well, let's do. So Perplexity, I thought they all had their different strengths and weaknesses. I thought.
Mm-hmm.
So Perplexity, one thing that stood out for me was it was a little bit more brief, which was nice.
And it's also a search engine.
And it's also a search engine.
I really
exactly.
like that.
And so I had because Perplexity was the one that had like the. Let me just go pull it up here actually, just so we're all looking at it at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I tried the deep research on Perplexity. It was pretty good actually.
Okay.
It was a little more succinct than some of the other ones.
Was it quicker to load?
I think it was about the same.
Okay,
Maybe a
because
little.
I know it takes a long time
be,
for ChatGPT to load.
It
their
was
deep
maybe
research.
a little quicker, but
Okay.
I don't really know. Not noticeably, I should say. I guess.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the right answer there. But I thought it was interesting. They have like this spaces section too, so it's like I'd imagine this is like kind of like the project section on ChatGPT. If you guys are
Yes.
familiar with that, I
Right.
don't know. Which is interesting. So then I like this. They had the Discover page where you can actually go through and they have like different articles and stuff. And like say I go through to an article, you can ask a follow-up question to it directly.
That's really neat.
That is really neat. And it's
Yeah.
got like a microphone and everything like a ChatGPT does, which is great. Yeah, so it's got some cool stuff. But it wasn't crazy impressive. I still liked I wonder if I can find actually where I had. Here we go. And so I did like these tabs too.
Mm-hmm.
So I had like tasks, walk you through. Like, so they all do this, but I like the way it had it laid out here.
Right.
For the deep research part here. Did have a lot of good resources, used a lot. But I mean, they all do that. It lacked some features that I think we'll get to it, I guess, in a little bit when we go to ChatGPT, but it lacked some things that I think ChatGPT had. So it was good.
I think it's A good.
You think it's A good?
I do.
Okay. Well, do we want to go through all these and then rate them
No, let's put them up as we talk about it.
as we talk about them?
Yeah.
Okay. So Perplexity. Let me put the tape on it here. Sorry, guys. So you would say it's A?
I would say it's A.
I would say it's A because I don't think it's S.
No.
I think there's only one S. And I think we'll agree on
we
it.
all know who.
But we'll say it's an A.
Yep.
I think it's good at what it's good at.
Yeah, and I
Right?
really like the search function a lot more than ChatGPT's search function.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, kind of like what it said here. I did some research on it using ChatGPT.
Oh.
Is that biased? I
Yeah,
don't know.
maybe.
Maybe. I don't know. But so it was excellent at answering complex questions, up-to-date citations, which is great. So it has some good things that it's good at, but I don't know if it's that impressive above some of these other ones, especially ChatGPT.
Right.
Gemini, I used a little bit. it had Gemini is good at. So one of the things that I thought Gemini is good at was integration with Google products.
Oh,
obviously.
100%. I think it's also its
would-
weakness, though.
Really? Okay.
Yes, because
What do you mean?
it's limited. It's just Google only.
Yeah. That's
And
all it's good at, you mean?
That's all it can
Yeah.
do. You can't integrate with anything else. It'll integrate well with your Gmail.
Right.
It'll integrate well with your calendar,
Workspaces,
all of your
Google
Google
Workspace.
everything.
Yeah.
But if you want to do anything else,
Yeah.
Microsoft Word, for example, or whatever,
Right.
Microsoft OneDrive.
It's probably not going to, it doesn't even want you to do that.
No.
Right?
No,
It's like
because it
Google
wants you to
product.
stay with Google.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I thought it was interesting. I did this, I actually did the, I guess we can go pull it up. I did the deep research with this one as well. Is that right? Hold on. Let's look at this. Yep. Here we go. It did good. I liked how it actually, like, it showed me its plan here.
Mm-hmm.
And then it asked me, okay, is there anything you want to, like right here, it said, you can start it or you can edit plan. So edit plan, it can, you can edit whatever you want,
Right.
Which is nice. You can't do that with ChatGPT.
Mm-hmm.
ChatGPT, all it does though is it asks you like follow-up questions. I don't know if
Yes.
you've seen that.
Yeah, because you'll go to deep research and you'll say, okay, I want you to do this. And say,
Yep.
okay, before I do that,
Yep.
tell me exactly what you're looking for.
Exactly.
And it's
like
really cool.
specify,
Yeah.
which is great.
Mhm.
So they're both just like different styles of doing it.
Yep.
I don't know which one's better. I think they're about equal. Because with the
Yeah.
ChatGPT again, I mean, you could also just ask it, say, okay, I want you to edit this, this, and this,
Mm-hmm.
or I want you to do it in this specific style, this specific format, whatever,
Right.
and it'll do it, right?
Yep.
So that's kind of, you don't need it. It doesn't need to prompt you to edit it, right?
Yes.
So this is a helpful feature, but I mean, I really don't think it matters that much.
It's nice that it's easily accessible with any other Google stuff. Like it says export to docs here. It's really
Yeah.
nice and simple. But
That is.
honestly, I would rather use ChatGPT.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah.
And
So-
we'll talk about that in a minute, I guess.
And another thing about Gemini that I thought was interesting was they have these things called gems. These are like AI agents. I don't know if you
what's
saw that.
No.
So, they're like the AI agents, and they're not like projects in ChatGPT. They're more specified. So, like, if you
Yeah.
go to Gemini, the website right now,
Mhm.
go there. If you
Sorry,
will.
hold on.
No, you're good. And then go back to like home.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
explore gems.
Oh, explore gems. Okay,
Yeah.
so what does that do?
It's just different things. So like you got a coding partner.
Brainstorm or career. Okay,
You
so
got
there's
the chess
specific
thing. It's really interesting.
So it's just like a more. It's like a GPT,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And you could also like make your own, I believe, and with the new gem.
And that's another thing that. Well, we'll talk about it in a minute. But so, what do you think this is at?
That's a B.
I think. Yeah, I would agree with that.
That's
I think it's apt. That is an apt.
Yep.
Analysis.
It's just not open enough, and it's
Yep.
more. It's just another option.
Yep.
Really, I don't
It
think
is.
it's the go-to.
If you use Google a lot,
Mhm.
sure.
Yeah.
Go ahead and use that.
Yep.
You know, if you've got a Google workspace that's
Mhm.
very integrated with everything else you do for
You might
your
as well,
business, absolutely go with
Mhm.
that. Right. That's great. If you're not attached to anything,
Yeah.
We'll sorry, I'm saving ChatGPT for the end. There's a lot of
Of
things I want to
course,
say about
yeah.
it. But Cloud.
I don't have a whole lot of
I
experience with this one.
I don't either.
It's
I
just it
tried
seems like a
out.
ChatGPT copy to me. It's by Anthropic, right?
Yep. Which, okay, that's what it was. So there are, and so kind of going back to what I was saying earlier, where, each one has a certain thing that's really good at, which is great. This one is really good at large amounts of data.
Yeah, and it remembers more too, I believe.
Well, and that's why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has 200,000 tokens of memory.
Exactly. Well, this says up to 100K tokens. Is it more?
I believe it's 200,000. I want to say
Wow.
that's what I read.
That's crazy. So this is saying that it's at least 75,000 words, probably more if it's 200,000.
Mhm.
So, which is way, way more than ChatGPT or any of these other
I mean, it could take a
LLMs
whole
can.
book.
Exactly.
You know.
That's a lot.
Yeah. ChatGPT, I've found when you give it a book, it kind of just reads it halfway. You
Yeah.
have to actually ask it.
That's what it always does. Any of these do that where it'll skim it.
Yep.
That's what the deep research for, and is what'll go through every single part of it.
Hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I'll put a document in there, and it'll literally just read up to like a chapter 8
Yeah.
or something when there's like 30 chapters.
Right.
And I'll be like, I have to be like, no,
No,
read
keep
the whole
going.
document.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, I'll do that.
Okay, I guess.
You have
Yeah.
to. I found this out. by just talking to it, you have to remind it, like, okay, read from the document.
Yep.
You have to.
Yep. You do.
Because it won't. It just, like, I'll say, what are some of the most memorable quotes from this document?
Yeah.
It'll make up stuff.
Yes.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
no.
I wonder
refer to the document.
what GPT were you using when you did that?
I think 4.
4?
4.0.
Okay, wow. Yeah,
Yep.
4 was supposed to be like one of the better ones. So,
Yep.
yeah, okay, maybe not. But I did think it's interesting. So, like, if you're, say, you're a small business, you want, integration with an LLM that will, kind of be able to handle like a customer support thing or anything like that.
Oh, 100%.
This can definitely do that.
Yep.
And I would say Claude is one of your better options for that.
Yes.
Because you can upload all sorts of knowledge bases, different documents that have all your information that's specific to your business.
Exactly. It'll remember all the policy.
Exactly. And so that way, if, you have a customer support, chat that you want to integrate, customer comes to your page, clicks on it, asks the question, it'll have a lot more knowledge to pull from for that. Right. Which is really good. So really good at that. So with that being said,
can we
for
put it
small
between A and B?
business, I actually would put it on an A tier.
Yeah.
I put it on an A tier simply because of the token.
I would agree.
Right.
Yeah, it is better than Gemini. I would.
Yeah.
I would.
Especially if this list is supposed to be, rating AIs based on how useful it is for a small business.
Right. Yeah.
Sorry,
So
maybe I should have specified that.
You're good. You're good. I thought it was just.
At least that's what I think
overall.
it should be. So
Yeah, I agree.
I would put it, and most of the time that should be the same thing, right?
Yep.
Whether it's useful for a small business or an individual.
Right.
I mean, most of the time it's good for an individual, probably is good for a small business.
Yeah, 100%.
So I would say A, simply because of the knowledge base that you can upload to it.
Yeah, I agree.
Right.
Yeah.
So are you okay with that?
That's why I said A and B.
A and B.
So.
All right. So I would put Claude right here next to Perplexity on the A tier. It's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the king of them all, ChatGPT.
Yep.
Some people don't like it. We love it.
Yep.
I don't think that'll ever change.
Don't have any problems with it except for the few small qualms like I was talking about. It doesn't read the whole document. You have to remind it.
Yeah.
It will do it.
It will.
You just
have to force it.
Yeah. And also there have been some problems recently where it's more it's kind of like an echo chamber for your ideas.
Yeah.
Like you cannot get any critique or any negative feedback.
You have to be careful how you prompt it because you need, and that's honestly why I think like more and more I think about it, you need like everyone should take a prompt like class on it.
Yes. Honestly. There should be a prompt.
There should be like a small class that like just a video that you can watch that shows you how to prompt engineer things because it does become more and more relevant as you use these LLMs. Especially for ChatGPT, to your point, you have to be able to prompt things correctly in a specific way because you have to tell it the way you want it to think.
Basically,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's why the customization is so useful. When you go in there before you talk to it, you could actually customize it, which is really cool. Now, I want to say there have been updates recently where it's making it less like flattering to you because
really?
I don't know if you know this in your experience, but ChatGPT will talk to me like I am the number one human in the world.
Right.
Like I am the best.
Yeah.
I am the most smartest.
Yes.
I am the most creative.
It's like not critical enough.
No, it's not even that.
Right?
It's like it's just it puts me on such a high pedestal
Right.
that it'll make me feel like, oh, I'm doing great. I don't have to worry about anything.
Yeah.
No, it's not true. It's not. Like there's no way I am up there with the greats.
Right.
You know, but it treats me like I'm one of the greats.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
that kind of goes back to what I'm saying. I feel like you have to tell it.
You have to tell it. Yeah.
Just a normal person.
You have to.
You have to say, okay, you can almost, and what I've seen a lot of people do is they'll say, okay, you are a blank.
Yeah.
Whatever it is you want them to act like.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
So if you're wanting them to be a business consultant, tell them to be a business consultant.
Right.
And then it'll tell you things that are more relevant to the information that you're wanting.
Because sometimes you could get so caught up thinking it's like not an actual person, but like an actual like person. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like you get caught up thinking it's like, this is a guy I'm talking to that's helping me out.
Yep.
But you have to remember it's literally just code and language.
Yep.
And it's language specifically that it'll change its entire personality based on whatever prompt you give it.
Yeah.
So, there have been reports of people who are having like actual delusions of grandeur because of ChatGPT. Like they are
delusions of what?
Grandeur. Like they're thinking they're great. Like
really?
they're the one, the chosen one. Because of ChatGPT's like spitting out of
that's
like
bizarre.
It's,
Is that
it's
I feel like that's an issue with the person though.
It's both.
You think so?
Well, because ChatGPT is a mirror of whatever you put in it.
Yeah.
So
if you spend too much time on it.
Yes. It'll do that. And
yeah.
it's interesting. You have to learn how to be a prompt engineer with ChatGPT because you have to if you want to get good results out of it, you have to make sure you're actually kind of
for sure
pushing it towards that.
Well, and then what was I gonna say? Okay, another big thing that ChatGPT has that a lot of others don't. They're GPT tabs here.
Right.
So obviously so many different different GPTs that are customized to do specific things related to specific skills, right? Literally hundreds, if not thousands of these that you can choose from. So
right.
A lot of different really cool things there. I think that's one of the main things that sets it apart. There's a lot of things I think that sets it apart. But I would say if you aren't attached to a certain language model yet, go with ChatGPT.
It's the most open.
It's the easiest to learn.
No pun
It's the
intended.
most effective. It's the most open. I like that.
Yeah.
Open AI. But yeah, so I think I don't think anyone would contest this.
No.
S tier.
That's easy.
Like by far.
Yep.
I think it's pretty quick. Pretty easy decision there. Okay, let's try to get through more of these. Quillbot. This is an AI that basically just does like, I'll go to the website here. So it does have a few things that are good, but so it does a lot of things related to language, right? So it's got like a paraphraser, grammar checker, AI detector, tells you whether it's AI or not, like what the likelihood there is, plagiarism checker, AI humanizer, so makes it more human, right?
Interesting.
Which that's like the reverse of the AI detector, right?
Yeah.
Kind of inverts it. Really interesting. So it's got some cool things here. I think that at least half of these features, though, if you wanted to get me done with ChatGPT, I'm sure there are GPTs, like custom GPTs that can do that.
That's true.
You know?
Yeah.
So some of these I just like, if it's related directly to language, large language models are becoming intelligent enough to be able to do it.
I agree. Yeah,
So,
they're using more logic.
You know, I don't know. Do you have any other thoughts on this one?
Not really. I haven't used it a whole lot myself.
I haven't either.
It looks kind of like a mishmash of tools that you could find elsewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. So depending on how well it is at doing what it is,
I think even if it's good at it,
it looks like you have to. I don't know. Like I don't understand what the premium would be.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't either.
So.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to put this
at D.
At D.
I think so too.
Just because
it's not useful because you have so many other.
You have so many other. I mean, this can do that. Most of it.
Yep.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, but that's just what I think. But yeah. And then you had some experience, or which ones do you want to go through?
Let's go through Notebook LM.
Notebook. Okay. Yeah. You had some experience in Notebook.
Yes.
So what is this, and what do you think about it?
So Notebook LM.
I looked to it a little bit, but I don't have much information.
You're good. It's a really cool website that's by Google, and I think it runs on Gemini. Okay. I want to say, that is basically a study buddy.
Yeah.
You could kind of import any YouTube video, any document or PDF or whatever.
Yeah.
I think it's just YouTube and documents, but it's really cool that it has that YouTube functionality. It literally import a transcript of the YouTube video you want, even if there's no transcript.
Okay.
So it's really cool. And you could put in multiple sources. So say you have, I don't know, 3 or 4 documents on a certain subject, right? You could literally have it pull from all 4 of these sources.
Yeah.
And it'll generate like study guides or frequently asked questions or quiz guides or whatever. You could actually like chat with this bot. I think it is Gemini, about the sources.
Yeah.
And also something cool about it is it'll generate like a podcast of 2 people talking to each other,
right,
about whatever
based
subjects on the sources.
Wow.
So it's really cool if you're on the go.
Does it sound pretty natural?
It sounds very natural.
Wow.
Yeah. Like it sounds. Some people would be fooled, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes it has some hallucinations, but really,
is it good as like like some of these other ones, like ChatGPT?
The voice, yes.
Voice, okay.
100%. I would actually.
Like, would you put it with? We'll talk about this in a minute, but 11 Labs.
11 Labs is better than all of them.
Right.
It's the best.
And we'll talk about that in a minute.
But yeah, I would say Notebook LM. If it's not S, it's A. I would say
Really?
it's the middle.
You'd say like right here?
Yeah.
We can do that.
Because
so just to be clear, this is not S, but also not A. This is like in the middle.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it can do a lot of what other AI agents can do.
Okay.
But
it does it really well.
It does it really well.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's
for
a
those
lot of
specific functions.
A lot of fun to use.
Yeah.
And like the whole podcast feature is really great. You could actually lead it to tell it what to focus on in the sources and stuff. So if you, I don't know, let's say you have 4 documents on the fall of the Roman Empire.
Yeah.
You can like focus on specific aspects of the fall.
Yep.
And the podcast will create that for you.
Right.
In like 4 minutes, you'll have.
Do you think that like do you think like if you were just listening to it, would you know that it was a AI podcast instead of a podcast?
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for what it's worth, you're not making it for content creation. You're making it for yourself, just to listen on the go.
Yeah.
Like if you can't read these 4 documents and you're driving somewhere,
you can just
listen.
That's pretty cool.
It's really awesome.
I do like listening to things like that on the road. So
yeah.
That's pretty good. Wow. All right. Which one do you want to go through now?
Let's do Runway.
Runway. Okay. Runway. This one. Okay. So you know ChatGPT's Sora.
Yeah.
Gosh.
No, you're good.
Why do I want to say that? I keep mixing that up.
I don't know.
Sora is kind of similar to this.
Yes.
I think this is better.
I haven't had much experience with it, so I don't know.
Okay. From what I've seen, I think it's better, but marginally.
Okay.
Right?
Which I would argue then that Sora would be better only because it's with ChatGPT.
Because you compare it.
Yep.
Yep. Okay, maybe. Yeah.
That's just my opinion. I mean, even if it has a slightly less better output, OpenAI has ChatGPT.
I don't even know if this one can do I don't even think this one can do audio with it.
Okay.
Maybe it can. It might be able to do like an audio overlay, like generic audio.
Okay.
I don't know if it's very advanced.
Another thing about Sora too is it can also, you could clip videos together.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I didn't use Runway, so I don't know if we can do that. But
I don't know either. But I think from what I've seen, it seems pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Not as good. Well, I think it's better, but it's marginally better. So this one's probably better for considering that you can pair it with an LLM.
Yeah.
Right. It's all one thing.
Yep.
So I don't know. What would you put this at then?
I would put it at A. Just for the content generation, just for the quality that it puts out.
Yeah.
Business wise, if you're using it for your small business, I don't think it's really useful.
Well, okay. I will say this. I think the only thing that this has that's an advantage is the API integrations.
Okay. Yes.
So I'm actually, and we'll talk about it with 11 Labs maybe.
Okay.
Let's put a pin in that.
Okay.
So there's an API integration with this that I'm using with another AI, but I'll talk about it in a minute. But I think that considering that API, I think that does put it on.
Let's put it on A then.
So let's put it on A.
Yeah.
We're running out of room up here.
I know.
Are there any that are going to be lower? I think some of these other ones are going to be lower.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Pictory AI. I'm sorry. This is one we disagree on. Pictory AI. It does a lot of, so it's a video generation tool.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably good for social media more than anything.
100%.
So it's good for that.
Short form, like
short form content, TikToks.
Yep.
Now it's not very high quality, not like Sora or Runway, like what those video generators generate.
No, it doesn't even generate video per se. It just generates
it's
the
like
makings of a video. It'll put together.
It like strings together. What do you call it?
Stock footage and text.
Stock footage, yes.
Yeah. Like I was telling you earlier, it's like Canva for video.
Right.
Because you put different elements together for Canva.
Yes.
To make a picture.
Yeah.
For this, you put different elements. It puts different elements together.
Exactly.
For video.
So like one's the actual AI is making the video.
Mm-hmm.
That's the case with ChatGPT, Runway, etc. This is stringing together a lot more existent video.
Yeah.
But the stringing together is the AI part of it, right? Yep. So it's almost like an automation. Now the API on this is also very good, similar to Runway, where you can do automations with it that kind of create content on automatically. So that's helpful. Where do you want to put this?
I want to put it on B.
You want to put it on B?
Yes.
Okay, I want to put it on C. So we'll just
listen. If you want to go with API,
can I put it right here?
Yeah, you can put it there.
I can put it there. You sure?
Yeah.
I appreciate that. In between a B and C is where I want to put that.
It's like mostly B.
The one, okay, when I used it, I have to say it was crappy.
Well, you probably
maybe I wasn't using it right.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Also, I haven't really used it, so maybe I don't have any say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I think it's, from what we've seen, it's B or C.
Yeah.
Might be B if you use it right.
Mm-hmm.
Might be A if you use it right. I don't know, but
maybe.
From what I've seen, I think it should be B or C. But,
okay.
But which one do you want to talk about now?
Let's talk about Lovable.
Lovable. This one I'm a huge fan of.
Yeah, that's really awesome.
And we should talk about this. If you are especially for like startups, so like even with what we're doing with the podcast, you know, I'm hoping to create an educational platform that provides good videos for small businesses about AI. Right. I'm using Lovable to build what's called an MVP, which is the minimum viable product.
It's not the most valuable player?
No. Yeah, it's a little different. Your minimum viable product for your company. So it is supposed to be an AI full stack web developer.
Really?
So it can do everything.
Okay.
So the only thing that it doesn't do is the database.
Okay, so you have to work on that yourself.
Well, but it gets nice though. So you can use Supabase, which is a very easy to use software as a service database that you can integrate with directly to Lovable.
Right.
And so I can actually, let me go and open that up real quick. So if you go to Lovable.
I did hear the CEO of Lovable talking about how he hopes it's the last piece of software anyone has to ever write.
I mean, it's getting there.
It's pretty crazy.
I mean, because you can give it so many different instructions. It can like generate, you know, security, you know, policies and protocols and stuff. It's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
So like this is what I generated for the website. So there's some stuff I need to change on here. But like it was even able to come up with, like I basically fed it a bunch of information about, you know, our mission statement, stuff like that, core values as you see here. And it kind of generated the rest.
That's great.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then it's like if you even come over to here, this isn't accurate yet.
Yep.
But we're still developing all that. But it's pretty advanced.
It's coming together, yeah. Yep. And this is all just you with no knowledge of code.
Yep.
So it's better than Wiz because you don't have to do anything but tell it what to do.
Yeah.
Not Wiz, Wix.
Wix, yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, absolutely. Yep.
Wix is another website.
Yep.
Building
tool.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of automated things.
I used that when I was like 15.
Yeah. Oh yeah, same.
I mean, it was a lot of fun.
And it was pretty cool back then.
Yeah.
But so one thing, so like for example, one thing you do with Supabase, so like I can even do like API integrations with Supabase. And so like I can even do like the sign in with Google thing down here.
Oh really?
I've got it partially on here. So but like if I go to here, it won't do it all the way.
Yep.
So I'm still trying to figure out some of the kinks with that.
Yep.
But it's still pretty cool.
You'd always ask this guy about it.
Which guy? ChatGPT. Yeah,
ChatGPT.
Exactly. Well, that's what I did.
Yeah.
Literally. But yeah, so it's got, you know, registration page, sign in page, all that kind of stuff. It's cool. And then you can even publish it. So you can publish the website with Lovable directly, which is pretty cool.
That's awesome.
And then I can actually connect my own domains, which is what I did here. And so it's actually on my domain, Endurant.ai.
That is revolutionary, I think.
Isn't it?
I want to say that
I think it's cool.
Is S tier.
I think that's S tier, dude. Especially with the biggest thing for me is the integration with Supabase.
Yep.
Because that kind of, and that's what never mind, I already said it, but yeah, definitely S tier.
Yep.
So
100%.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say about that.
Me neither.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So I'd highly encourage anyone out there, if you're trying to, again, you know, if you're just wanting a basic website for your business, Lovable and it might not be the place for you. Might be, but you know, it's not necessary. Maybe.
It's very easy to use.
It is very easy to use.
Mm-hmm.
But especially if you're wanting to develop a, you know, minimum viable product or anything like that with your actual application that you're building, if you're a tech company, it's a great place to start for sure.
Yep.
Which one do you want to talk about next? We got 5 more here.
Let's talk about Copy.ai.
Copy.ai. Let's do it. So Copy.ai.
This is a marketing tool, right?
This one, yeah. So it's copyright, right? So, well, it's copyright and a few other things. So they do a bunch of different stuff. It's kind of similar to You want to talk about these in the same time?
Yeah, we could do that. That's great.
So You have Jasper and Copy.ai. They do very similar things. I'll just give you the 30-second version of it, honestly. So Jasper AI is a good enterprise level marketing tool. So if you have a big marketing team or a small marketing team, any marketing team at all, you should probably use this one. This one can generate really good content. It's got a lot of feature here. I actually wrote down I heard some stuff here about it. So it's got a lot more like integrations, got a lot more AI video, capabilities, which I actually didn't get a chance to test. But so it's got a lot of different apps that you can integrate with it and everything, so that helps. A lot of more automation with it. This one is a lot simpler. This is good for like a startup, or if you are a small business with less than 10 employees, I would definitely use this.
It's Copy.ai.
Yep, Copy.ai.
Yep.
And yeah.
Yeah, and I from what I understand, it's less expensive.
Less expensive, exactly, and that's kind of the main selling point, right? It's better for lean startups. So yeah. So I would say Copy.ai. I don't know. I would say for small businesses specifically, I would put Copy.ai A tier in marketing.
Yeah.
And then I would put, I'm actually not a huge fan of either one.
Me neither. But we also don't use them. I don't think we don't need them.
So I think for a small business who needs good marketing, I would put Copy.ai on A, and I would put Jasper on B.
It's
bigger for, again, this is for small
enterprise.
Businesses. Exactly. And so they're probably on the same level as far as usability for different levels.
Right.
But they're better for, one's better for small businesses, one better for enterprise. So,
sometimes simple is better.
That's right. Yep. That's right. Synthesia. Is it Synthesia or Synthesia?
It's Synthesia.
Synthesia.
Yeah.
Okay. So I use this one today for the first time. It does these videos.
Yeah, this is like really a AI avatar, right?
Yes, exactly. So it does. So it's got like these people, and
now do they actually like move their mouths and all that? Okay.
Yeah. So they actually talk.
Gotcha.
And you basically just plug in what you're wanting to say, and they'll do it.
Wow.
And it's pretty cool. So if you're like a small business that wants like a good, even if you're trying to create like training videos or something,
right?
That's great.
Yeah.
And from what I've seen, they're almost flawless. And so they don't.
You have an example?
Yeah, I can look one up. I'm sure. Let's look up. Example video. See if we can find one. Yeah, we could try this maybe. Yeah, here we go. So let's try this one.
Welcome to Value Selling Fundamentals. This video explores the key principles and some
It's really good.
No, it's pretty good. There are some flaws in it.
Maximizing your sales potential with value selling?
Yeah.
First, identifying value.
The voice is really well done.
Second,
it is.
Articulating the value.
You can tell she's AI, but barely.
How your products align precisely with their needs.
What's pretty good.
Yeah, it's really good. That's an A tier product.
I think it's an A tier.
It's getting crowded up there.
It might be an S tier.
Maybe.
Do some of these need to move down? They're all just really good. Honestly.
They are really good.
They are really good. So well, to be fair, we did put this one down here.
Yep.
And I think that's.
It should be a C.
That's
maybe,
fair. Maybe a C.
But it's okay.
But I really don't like it. I think it should be an S tier.
Yeah.
I think for the right, we were so we had the camera go off. But what I was saying was, Synthesia. Sorry. I think it's great for the uses that it's specified for, right?
Yep.
Really good for if you're a small business that wants a training video, basic how-to videos, things like that you want to generate. That's great for that. So that's why I put it in S tier.
It's definitely A tier, but we
really,
yeah, because
why is it lower than some of these?
Because these
you're right
can do a lot.
You're right.
That is limited to just one. It's a tool. Right. It's a tool. It's great. It's great at what it does. It's an S tier tool.
Yeah, you're right.
But for a small business's usage,
you're right.
It's definitely an A.
A2.
Yeah,
I think you're right. You're right. Okay. Let's do Fireflies.
Okay.
So Fireflies. I didn't get a whole lot of time to look into
this. Is what I understand is Fireflies is a meeting summarizer. Now you can use Fireflies with what? I mean, is it Zoom calls?
I think it can be for anything like that.
Okay.
So even if you have like a recording device, if you upload audio, kind of like the Notebook LM that you're talking about, I think it does like similar things to that,
which is really cool.
It is pretty cool. I don't know how accurate. So like, let's see here. Yeah, so it looks like you can use in like Zoom calls, Teams meetings, whatever.
Yeah, Google Meet, whatever.
Yeah.
Microsoft Teams.
Just oh crap, they're gonna make it.
So I think it's
I don't want to sign up.
A really cool idea. Although I know there are some privacy concerns because
like it can overhear everything.
Yeah.
I mean, that's with any of these though.
Of course, 100%.
So I don't know. Yeah. So it does look like it's geared towards meetings.
Wow, a lot of integrations.
Which is great.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Does it have Zoom? Let's see. Go all the way down to Z.
Yeah, I mean, surely, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So
Zoom and Zoom Phone. Zapier.
Wow.
Zapier's an automation tool.
Wow, interesting. So
that's pretty good.
Was that Skype? Skype's gone.
Did it have Skype on there?
It does.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Skype.
R.I.P.
But that's really cool.
That is pretty cool.
And basically, what I understand is you'll be in the meeting and you don't have to take notes because it will take notes for you.
Yep.
Okay.
It'll probably create like action items even and stuff.
And it is like Notebooks LM.
Yep. So it seems like it's a good like. So I wonder if you use a lot of Google stuff because Notebook works with Google because with Gemini.
Yep.
So I wonder if maybe it's like Notebook LM. But if you want to use like other integrations with it, maybe.
Probably.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I would say maybe it's like another one of those S and A tiers. Oop, I just.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah, you're good.
Really?
Right?
I don't think Notebook should be here. I think it should be here.
I agree. And then this should be
with A
on the line.
On the line?
Firefly's AI?
Yeah. Is it that good?
I think so.
Okay. Yeah, because it can create tasks and stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? That's actually fair. Because for a small business, for you to not have to do as many notes,
yep,
that would be really powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Can Notebook LM do that? Or it's
not with meetings. No.
I think Notebook LM then should be down here.
You don't have that podcast feature.
Oh, that's true. I still think for that, yeah.
I'll accept.
And then I think Firefly's AI should be like on the line.
Yeah. All right.
Because that is a big feature. If you have a lot of meetings as a small business owner, you don't have to worry about notes.
Right. No,
that's a big task to take off your plate.
It is.
Right?
Yep.
So that's pretty good for that. Yeah. Okay. 11 Labs. I think this is S tier.
Why?
Because let me go into it actually.
As far as I know, it's just voices.
Yeah, but it's the best one, I think, for voices.
But do small businesses need that specifically for everything?
I think they could use it for customer support.
Okay, tell me more.
So 11 Labs they only do like voice stuff, right? So they do let me just read them out. Let me go to the app actually. So they do text to speech, voice changer, sound effects, and then they have conversational AI as well. So ChatGPT has conversational AI, right? The only difference here is that you can use it with agents. So like you can use the API for it and everything, right?
Okay.
Yeah. It's a lot more accessible.
Right.
So I actually, so I was telling you about this before the episode. I even went into ChatGPT. ChatGPT stores knowledge about who you are as you go, right? Mm-hmm. So I asked it to generate a short story for me about me and told from a third-party story, and it did it really well.
Let's hear it.
Let's see. Let me see if I can pull it up. I won't play too much of it, but I think it's this one.
Tyler Ames didn't talk much when he was working, but that was mostly because he didn't have to.
It sounds really good.
It does. It sounds like Morgan.
And they have a lot. They have a lot of different voices.
Okay,
it's like a ton of different voices you can choose from.
And I know I've used it before to clone my own voice.
Yeah.
And it did a pretty bad job. But this is also 3 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
it seems like it's really good now.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then one of the big things I think is the conversational. So the conversational AI, you can basically create an agent to do something for you.
Yes.
So like the one that I was talking to the other day was a chess coach.
Mm-hmm.
and it was pretty good. It was good at like knowing when to stop listening and start talking, and stop talking and start listening.
That's good.
Which is a key thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then so between that and the API integrations that make it really easy to use in like an automation, like for instance, and this is when I'll talk about this, I'm creating an N8N automation. So N8N is a automation platform that has like thousands of integrations that you can use with it.
Right.
And so if I go to my content automation experiment right here, I have it set up to where it'll schedule a trigger, input a prompt into OpenAI's ChatGPT. ChatGPT will spit out a prompt for a video.
Right.
That will get stored to an Airtable. It'll create a record on an Airtable database.
So it's like a cloud database.
So like cloud database, yep.
Okay.
And so then it'll take this 11 Labs API will take the record that was created, which is the prompt or the script, and it'll input it into 11 Labs, come up with an audio for it.
Right.
And that audio will sound really, really good.
Yep.
And then that audio is going to put into Runway, actually.
Okay.
Another reason why I love Runway is because of the API.
Yep.
And then they'll put the two together, and I'll have video that'll get uploaded to TikTok automatically.
Wow. So it's just doing its own thing.
Yep.
You don't have to touch it.
Exactly. Just like that.
It's pretty amazing.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So that's another reason why I love 11 Labs. It's the API of it all. It's really good.
And for your small business, with N8N, you can have ChatGPT come up with videos for your business.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's why I think 11 Labs is really good, and that's why I put in the S tier. Maybe not.
It's another S and A tier.
It's another like right here. I don't have any more tape, but
you can put it on top of a.
We're running out of room.
That's good.
Like right there.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Again, I think that's because small businesses can use it for like customer support, anything like that, or automations like that.
Right.
So,
which is really helpful.
Yeah, I don't know. Are there any of these we want to change?
It's pretty top heavy.
That's pretty top heavy.
But
okay, now that we have all these here, are there any that we should move down?
Maybe Claude.
I think Claude, maybe. But then the Claude thing, though, because of the knowledge base.
Yeah, it's true. They all have great strengths.
They do.
Maybe Copy.ai.
I think Copy.ai should be moved down.
To B.
I think
we could put Pictory on C.
I think Pictory should be C. And then I think Perplexity should be moved down.
Nah.
Why is Perplexity in A?
It's a great search engine.
Because of search engine.
Yeah.
Okay. Better than.
Yeah.
Really?
I think so.
Really?
As a search engine.
I need to go back and look at that. Okay. Well, this is our list. So
it's official. This is canon.
This is canon.
Yep.
Maybe we'll just put it like right there.
Forever and ever.
Forever and ever.
Yep.
No. But all right. Well, that's it. Guess that's all we have for today. We've kind of been going for a while now. If you guys have any questions or anything or feedback, we'd love to hear it. Please put it down in the comments below. Tell us if you like this or not, or if you want more segments like this, less of them.
Tell us if you hate us.
Yeah, please do. Honestly. So we've already gotten a few hate comments on our TikToks, but listen, I love them.
Yep.
I love them. Just fuels me, right?
I just delete
keeps you going. Really? Yeah, anyways, I think it's it. You got anything else?
No, that's it.
All right, cool. Yep. All right, well, we'll see you guys. Thank you for listening.